a lot of moms out there, what they did pre-baby, it's not the same as what they're going to do post-baby. So you can't spend 2 hours in the gym. You don't have the luxury of time to, do all these fancy meals and, spend a million hours over the stove. It's just not going to happen. And to be able to even sit down to 3 square meals a day, sometimes that just doesn't even happen. And you are able to do that, with a knife and fork. Sometimes I'm like holding the baby in one hand and try to shovel in food, inhale food with the other hand. And it's kind of a crazy thing, but it's just good to have grace with yourself post baby and understand that things are going to change. You can still be healthy and you can still keep your belly fat down,
right?
Without being that extreme.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Mom Does It All. If you're looking for encouragement, empowerment, and uplifting in motherhood and mompreneurship, this is a show for you. I'm your host, Marta Spurk, triplet mom, certified success coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. In this episode, I'll be chatting with Sandy Lee, fat loss coach for new moms. We talk about reality versus expectations when it comes to leading a healthy lifestyle as a mom, gaining more energy throughout the day by worrying less, and so much more. Let's get right to it.
Hi, Sandy. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey, Marta. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I want to hear about your story, how you came to be doing what you're doing right now. And one of the things that I loved that you mentioned before is the expectations versus reality of leading a healthy lifestyle as a mom, because as we know, it's more complicated. Everything's complicated. So go ahead and share your story with us.
Okay, well, my story began like many, many moons ago. It's kind of a long one, but I'll start from the beginning. So I went through a period of rebellious, self-destructive behavior. That was a response to losing my mom when I was 15 years old. And she passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. And at that age, you're super vulnerable and you don't know how to deal with those emotions. Right. And what happened was I ended up numbing my feelings with partying, booze, all the alcohol, the bad relationships, the binge drinking, and the binge eating. And that went on for about 10 years.
Wow.
Until it was one specific day that I remember so clearly. I woke up in this guy's bed, and I'm going to be totally honest.
Oh, dear.
In this guy's bed with like chicken hungover, with like chicken nuggets, remnants splayed out on the pillow beside me. I woke up and I looked at myself in the mirror and I didn't recognize the person looking back at me. And that's when I decided I needed to change. And that was my rock bottom moment. I said I needed to change and I wanted to be better. I wanted to feel better. So I started working out. Little by little, I started working out. I ended up falling in love with it. I became a personal trainer. I became a group instructor. And I eventually went back to school to study nutrition.
Cool.
So that's how I earned my nutrition degree. Then I got heavily into doing fitness competitions. And that started off at first as an innocent way to challenge my body physically. But then, and it taught me a lot about discipline and meal prepping like a boss and everything. And it started off like that, but then eventually turned into this unhealthy food obsession and exercise obsession. And that really drained me and really hurt my body confidence.
Right.
So I took a step back. At that time, I also had a miscarriage. So that was something that, really told me that I needed to take a step back.
Right.
And started spending time with the people I love the most. I had more energy to focus on my business.
Nice.
And, my health coaching business. And, really put me in a better place to become a mom. I got pregnant. I became a mom. Yeah. And that's when I realized just how important this healthy living lifestyle is.
Right.
To exercise, to eat well, not to look good on stage in this like teeny weeny bikini.
Right.
But to have enough energy to truly enjoy playing with your little ones.
Right.
And spending time with your family. and to do all the things that moms need to do.
Yes.
You know, the laundry, the cooking, the cleaning, everything, the business, if you have one, it's everything. And so that's when I decided I desperately needed to figure out a way to keep my sanity, to stay fit and healthy.
Yes.
Without sacrificing time with my family.
Right.
And without spending hours in the kitchen and without spending hours in the gym. And that's exactly what I help other moms do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your experience and your transformation. Wow, that's such a powerful story. I love that. And the whole ups and downs, right? You found something to pull yourself out of that mess that you were living in, trying to cope with everything that had happened. And then it kind of went overboard a little bit for a while, and you had to, and I mean, that's life, right? We do things, and then we have to course correct and reevaluate, and that's how we learn, and that's how we can help other people too,
right?
Based on mistakes, right? Based on our experiences. So I love that now you help moms do exactly that, just find that balance, which I don't necessarily like the word balance because it's tricky.
I agree with you. I mean, I'm kind of an extremist. So like when I say I'm going to do something, I go balls to the wall, all out. And that's not necessarily good sometimes. You know, there is trying to find this balance. And I hate the word balance too, but there's no such thing as balance. It's just kind of a give and take. And being aware of when you know you're giving too much or not giving enough.
Yes.
And just being aware of that state
is really important, especially as moms, because it's not just us anymore, right? So we have to be aware of these things so that we are prioritizing right, which again is not the easiest thing. Like, who's to say what's right and what's wrong, how much time you're dedicating to one thing or the other, but it really is figuring that out for yourself. And there is no guidebook for that. Yeah. That's what's tough.
And the thing is, everyone is going to be every mom is so different, and different things are important to different people.
Yes. And that's what's interesting too, because and I've been talking a lot about this, is like creating your own definition of success, because what really creates a huge frustration in everyone's lives is you're trying to live up to somebody else's expectations or somebody else's definition of what's right and what's wrong, when you have your own unique life and your own unique situation. So you need to be figuring that out for yourself. Obviously having guidance from other people that are more experienced, but at the end of the day, and even like with the work that I do, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to show you the way, and you can figure that out yourself.
Right.
And it's tricky because it's easier to have someone tell you what to do, but at the same time, we don't really want to do what people tell us to do. So it's tough. But I love that you said, you know, the whole reality versus expectations, or expectations versus reality, that when you're a mom, even if that's your job, like in your case, you're not going to have that time to meal prep and to stay millions of hours at the gym. Like, you could organize yourself in that sense, but then you have to think about spending time with your family and all of that.
Exactly.
I love that. And so another thing too that I wanted you to touch on is the whole belly fat, because I know that's the thing that you focus on. So tell us what is your formula?
Well, okay, let's talk about the reality versus expectations.
Okay.
A little bit. So, I mean, this falls back to like when I was competing, and maybe, you know, a lot of moms out there, what they did pre-baby, it's not the same as what they're going to do post-baby. So you can't spend 2 hours in the gym. You don't have the luxury of time to, you know, do all these fancy meals and, you know, spend 1 million hours over the stove. It's just not going to happen. And to be able to even sit down to 3 square meals a day, sometimes that just doesn't even happen, you know, and you are able to do that, you know, with a knife and fork. Sometimes I'm like holding the baby in one hand and try to shovel in food, inhale food with the other hand. And it's kind of a crazy thing, but it's just good to have grace with yourself post baby and understand that things are going to change. You can still be healthy and you can still keep your belly fat down. Without being that extreme. There are little ways that you can do this, keeping the meals healthy, but simple. So like, it doesn't have to be fussy. You don't have to make almond milk from scratch.
Right.
Like, it's not, You don't have to like make the zoodles yourself. You can buy them, you can use canned goods. It doesn't say you're a bad mom, or like, you can take the easy way out. You can do lots of frozen veggies. Mm-hmm. It's really seeing where you can cut corners.
Yes, I love that.
To make it work for your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And especially when you say it doesn't mean you're a bad mom if you're getting some vegetables from the can. Because that's another thing too. Like you start feeling guilty, like, oh my gosh, what if someone sees me opening up this can, or I can't post this on Instagram?
Right.
People are going to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Especially I feel like in this day and age with social media, we get so much more caught up than before with the things that we're doing as moms. Like there's guilt, period. Like even like if you were born millions of years ago, there would be guilt. I am pretty sure.
Yes.
It comes with the job. And then now, because there's just like this comparison, you can see people's lives, quote unquote, because they're not showing everything.
Yes.
And then you start comparing yourself, especially with people that, that have the fit bodies, the moms that have the amazing bodies. And you're like, oh my gosh, they're making their own almond milk. I need to. So that's tough. And I love that.
That's it. That's another angle that like I want to come at the reality versus expectations thing with. It's that, when you've become a mom, you look at social media and you see these celebrity moms, the Gwyneth Paltrows of the world, the Jessica Albas of the world, and they have this perfect body and this perfect lifestyle with these perfect kids. And you think that's what you should strive for.
That's the standard.
Yes. And you're bombarded with it in the checkout line at the supermarket with the magazines right up front. And you see these celebrities. Oh, I got my pre-baby body back within 3 months.
Right.
And it's, it's that to be aware that that's not realistic.
Right.
Is what you need to do because, you think that you should be striving for this and you see it all the time with this perfect body and this chemical free baby lifestyle. And sometimes
oh my gosh, don't even get me started with
you can drive yourself crazy trying to achieve that.
Yeah. Cause it's not even just the food when you think about the products and like, you need to, and I don't want to talk crap about that stuff because I know that is important, but again, expectations, reality versus expectations. Like I have triplets. I can't be worrying about, all of the things of, the cleaning products and the shampoo that they use. Like there's so many things, like
so many. Yes. And if you keep comparing yourself to this standard of living, it can dampen your happiness.
Yes. Oh, 100%. And then you're not enjoying life. And it goes back to everything that we had said, like you're doing something good, right? Mm-hmm. Worrying technically about all of these things, like just like you were competing and you were taking care of your body. And then it went to an extreme and you had to take steps back. So
I think it's important, yes, to know that good enough is good enough.
Yes. And figuring out what that good enough is. And again, no one can do that for you. So. Right. I love that. Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about the energy levels, because you were talking about, having the energy. And one thing that you had mentioned before was, what can you do? And this is great, especially, starting the new year for moms. What can you do so that you don't feel like you need to nap when the kids go down for a nap? Guilty.
I know. I've been there. So energy is a big thing. It's such a big thing for moms, especially because, you're hardly getting sleep. You hardly have time to take care of yourself, and you need to. It's kind of a catch-22 because you need to take care of yourself, but you feel like you don't have the energy to take care of yourself. But the first thing I want to talk about is that a little goes a long way. So moving your body, just any form of movement goes a long way. People think that you need to, like I used to think I need to, get at least an hour workout or it doesn't count. So wrong. You can go for a short 10-minute walk. You can move your body for 10 minutes and that will instantly give you a pick-me-up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be this like power, workout with 20-pound dumbbell. It doesn't have to be that intense. And that's a lesson that I had to tell myself. I just, I took my baby and I went outside and I just went for a 10-minute walk, and that helps with just clearing your mind and giving you more energy to tackle the rest of your day.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And
Cool.
also, I know we touched on this a little bit, just letting go of the mom guilt a little bit, because, we prioritizing all these things, kids, career, household, religion,
Yes.
trying to take care of yourself. And all those things are a priority. But when we get caught up in, feeling guilty about, oh, I'm not working out. Oh, I'm not, taking care of myself. I'm not looking after the home. I'm not spending enough time with the kids. All that mental energy is draining.
Yes, it is. Oh, yeah.
It drains us. And that sucks. Like, we start the day with a certain amount of energy stores, and that can suck up like 50% of it.
Oh, wow.
If
your thoughts.
Just your thoughts. So when you're in your head, feeling guilty and stressing about, oh, I'm not doing this. I'm guilty about not doing this. I'm doing this when I should be doing that.
Right.
It drains us.
It does.
So I know this is easier said than done, but maybe just try to prioritize 1 to 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, let's say in the morning, if you get up, you're supposed to go work out, but all of a sudden the kid is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids are sick.
Yes.
You're not going to go work out.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't sit around feeling guilty about missing that workout. You just got to let it go and just be present in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
just
love that.
Let go.
And I feel like that's one of the hardest things is being present, because there is that guilt of I need to be doing a million other things. So then you're not there while you're doing the one thing because you're somewhere else thinking about the things that you should be doing. And that's extremely exhausting.
So exhausting.
I hadn't even thought about it that way. That is extremely exhausting. And then you start feeling guilty that you are exhausted when you created that in the first place. Oh, such a mess.
Self-sabotage.
Yes, 100% self-sabotage. And that's another thing that we just need to become more aware of and kind of stop ourselves in our tracks, reevaluate and be like, no. And just like what you said, I can't do anything about it. They're sick.
Letting go of the I should be, I could be, I would be, just letting go.
Yeah. And that goes for the moment and for life, right? When we're talking about comparing ourselves to other people that seem to have the perfect life, it's just letting go of all of that. And I guess, that's like an awesome message for us to even take away from everything, is just being present on what you have right now. And I always talk about gratitude and all of that. And it really goes back to that, right? You have to be grateful for what you have right now. Because if you're constantly in this state of what could be, then your life is miserable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
It's probably like one of the hardest things to do, but it's so necessary.
It is, totally. So tell us more about like the work that you do with moms specifically. So you teach them based on your experience, obviously, of having this balance as moms. But what are some of the other resources and things that you have? And I also wanted you to give us like your biggest piece of advice. And I know we've given several tips here already, but just especially since tomorrow is New Year, I want you to kind of give some tips for starting the year right and all of that.
So I know that because most people are going to be, setting goals. One of the biggest things that come to mind is getting small wins under your belt. So taking baby steps instead of setting this huge, overwhelming goal that seems so out of reach right now, because the more you add on your plate and the bigger the goal is, the more overwhelmed you're going to feel about it. And, sometimes when we have such a big goal, halfway through, we end up giving up.
Yes, that is true, because it's so big and it overwhelms us.
Yes. So take baby steps, set small, attainable goals, and try and accomplish those, like a 1 week goal. Like maybe this week I'm going to drink more water. Something as simple as that.
Right. Starting small. That makes a lot of sense, especially when you think about the entire year.
Yes. So start small, get those small wins under your belt. And that's how you're going to start feeling more motivated and more confident.
Yes. I love that.
And then you build upon that.
Okay. That's great. So everyone, if you already made your plans, maybe revisit them, your resolutions, so that so that you can actually achieve them, right?
Yeah.
So what's the point? Because I know lots of people say, your goals are meant to stretch you. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
You have to get out of your comfort zone. So it can't be something, too simple. But at the same time, if it is too big, then it could discourage you and have the reverse effect. So then you have to find that sweet spot.
Yes. For sure.
So what are some of the resources that we can find if we want to work with you, connect with you?
I hang out daily on Instagram. You can find me at Sandy M. Lee.
Okay.
I have a free 5-day smoothie Slimdown that you can try to. I was talking about small goals. This is a small win you can get under your belt this week. So it's 5 days of smoothie recipes. It will start helping you feel better, helping you feel less bloated, and just more energized. You'll build confidence, build motivation to tackle the bigger things.
I love that. Delicious.
I'm also launching my Bye Bye Mommy Fluff 4-week fat loss food program in about a week. So come join me and let's have some fun.
Awesome. So that's a nutrition focus. There's no exercise.
It's food focus, no exercise.
Okay. And that's awesome too, especially starting the new year. Like all of the holidays are over. Now you can do the smoothies and get energized and then plan.
Yeah, if you feel like you need a little help with your nutrition, especially after the holidays when we've, indulged maybe a little too much, come talk to me.
Okay. I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and all the tips. Amazing.
It was so nice to be here, Marta. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
You guys, tomorrow we start 2019. Are you ready to have your best year yet? It all starts with you. I want to encourage you to take a look within, focus on yourself, and make this year a year of improvement, transformation into your best self. And if you're looking for extra encouragement in that sense and tools to figure out what's stopping you and how you can move forward, connect with me. Let's get on a call and talk about your goals and how I can help you achieve them. Happy New Year, and until next time.